Someone has found some rabbit poo. Come on! Oi! Harris! Leave it! Oh no, the lure of the treats has worked. Good boy. Yeah. Come on in. During lockdown, as something to occupy my mind really, I set myself a task of learning to identify as many trees as possible, and I'm pretty good now. There's still a few of the fir trees, the evergreens, that confuse me, but certainly all of the deciduous trees I pretty much know now. And then I started on the fungi, and the advice I got there from a very experienced forager was learn all the ones that will really do you harm, the poisonous ones first, and learn to identify those on a number of different points so you don't come unstuck with those. Then learn the ones that taste really good, the ones that are really nice to have, you know, your chanterelles and your morels and all those sorts of things, and get to know them really well. As for the ones in the middle, forget about them. It may account for several thousand species, but if they're not good to eat, or they might give you a tummy upset, why are you even bothered? You know, it's a sort of luxury to know those as well. Part of me does, because I want to know everything. But at the end of the day, he was right. So that's what I've done. So I'm thinking about my next task now, and I'm thinking it would be nice to know my wildflowers a little bit better, and it would certainly be nice to know more about grasses, because I don't know anything at all about grass, and there's so many different ones growing in these fields, in these meadows, and it would be nice to know what they all are. Wow, look at these gorgeous gypsy roses. I think their proper name is scabious, I think. I might be wrong, but yeah, gypsy roses, aren't they beautiful? If there wasn't quite so much wind, I'd show you the beautiful seed pods to the they are moving around a bit. It's quite blowy today again. Still no chance to fly my bloody drone. First sighting of a bolete of some description. It's been a bit nibbled, and I'm not going to dig it up, just have a look underneath, have a look at the gills. Although of course being a bolete, it doesn't have gills, it has pores. But nevertheless, first bolete of the year. A different walk today for a change. Going down through this woody area. And it's nice. I like it down here because it's quite shielded. And when you've got quite a warm day like today, although there is a breeze which is taking the edge off, it's nice to find some shade. And here's the dell, which kids love to ride their bikes down. They also, unfortunately, like to party here sometimes. And a few years ago they did try and set fire to this old tree, or at least a fire got out of control by this tree, as you can see. And it's got no heart at all, but nevertheless it's as strong as it ever was. As strong as it was, that old hazel tree is going to be going on forever. But anyway, I'm going to come back out of the dell now, so up the slope. Ooh, 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 ooh. And we'll have a look down through here. It's not obviously being used very much at the moment because it's quite overgrown. Which I quite like. I don't mind admitting, I quite like that. Oh, it's a bit better here. Dog likes it because he doesn't come here every day, so there's lots of fresh things to pee on. He's claiming it all as his. You've got these little lumps every so often, these little irregular lumps. There's one, and down the other side. And here's another one, and down the other side. And here's another quite big one, and down the other side. Another one here, there's a big one coming up in a minute. And again, kids love riding their bikes down here. And who would blame them? My kids used to do it. This is the big one. And if you're walking it, you've almost kind of got to, whoa, you've almost got to run down it and then go up the other side here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah. Lovely twisty old tree as well. Look at that. So I'm having a quick look for mushrooms in here because I got a lot of parasols here last year around this area, and parasols are very tasty if you catch them when they're fresh. They do get a little bit hard and woody quite quickly. But no sign yet. We are still early, like I said in the previous video. We're a bit early at the moment for all the fungi. I'm quite surprised I'm seeing any at all, frankly. But nevertheless, yeah, it's a nice walk down through here. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go out onto one of the big farm fields. Here we are, out into one of the barley fields. That's the lonely tree there. I mean, he's not that lonely. I mean, there's houses all on the top there. I mean, that's kind of over where I live. But he's the only tree in the middle of the field. Most trees are communal. They're all linked together by mycelial networks under the ground, and they're mutually in contact with each other as well. I mean, we've heard in recent years how some trees can almost identify their youngsters, if you like, and if they're lacking in nutrients, can send stuff through the mycelial network, the fungal network underground, to feed their offspring. How true that is, I'm not so sure. I've heard varying reports, conflicting reports from the sciences, but it's an interesting idea that everything is linked together. But there are reports that when a tree is left alone, because all the other trees around it have died, such as has happened in recent years with the big ash dieback, that the lonely tree dies. But the exception seems to be oaks. The old lonely tree out there in the middle of the field, he's doing all right. He looks quite healthy. The cherry tree here, you can always tell a cherry because of those horizontal lines on them, but as they get older the bark starts to break up. But this one's got some sort of disease, I think, or it's not very well, because you've got evidence of something called gummosis. Can you see all this yellow sap, like amber, creeping out of the tree? That's usually a sign that the tree is damaged or isn't doing very well or is diseased. It goes right up to there. There's lots of it. So that tree is not looking too happy, bless it. Well, whatever was affecting that cherry, it's not spread to every tree. I mean, this one's fairly healthy. Again, see the horizontal striations on it, and that one's looking very healthy. I mean, the one there is strangled with ivy, and so's that one. So it's kind of hard to tell on those ones, but they're looking quite healthy. This little path is all oaks and cherries along here. There's not much diversity, to be honest, although saying that there's a hawthorn there. But there's not a lot of diversity along this little bit. There's some beautiful trees. Some beautiful trees for you to wee on, eh, Pug?